So, you gotta kind of dig chapter 3. Basically, the introduction to the sergeants. Introduction to Rico's new life and how everything's changed. If you've listened to it from this point, you realize he comes from a life of privilege, and now he finds himself in, not even what we have in the United States military, but it's like just this camp in the middle of nowhere with these extremely cruel, seemingly cruel people with a job to do called the sergeants. And they set an extremely high standard, and we're introduced to the brutality of the situation. And as we'll find out in chapters to come, there's a reason for it. There's so much on the line, and so much that these people are going to be responsible for, so much lethality that they're going to have at their fingertips, that they need to have a true understanding of violence. And that is what the sergeants are looking to teach. I really, really dig the ending, as far as he goes through and he's all cut and press, and he Zim, which Zim is also in the movie. He's just all squared away. Everything is pressed, and he does PT with him step for step. So that is cool. Kind of shows a little something there. On a personal note, there's really something to be said for, when you are in basic and you fall asleep, there's this constant stress that I felt, just like a pit in my stomach, just feeling that nothing can be right enough, nothing can be fast enough. No sooner do you fall asleep that you're once again awakened to that pit and that nightmare, and you're expected to perform immediately from the time that you wake up. Exercise starts immediately. A barrage of commands and demands and everything else just hits you all at once. A demand to go back to a routine, making your rack the way that you were taught to make it, just everything all at once, and it's never fast enough. The author gives us a little slice of that with the training of the mobile infantry. And, I don't know about sharing this or not, but where there is the relief is if you happen to have fire watch, in which case it's somebody else relieving you, and you actually wake up before everybody else wakes up, and as opposed to being woken up by a drill instructor who's already been up for 2 hours, or you swear doesn't seem to require sleep, as they're just superhuman people that do what seems to be superhuman tasks. So that's what we got for chapter 3. I found it interesting, the difference between the book compared to the movie. The movie, you have the kind of country bumpkin that Zim decides to make an example of, and then breaks his arm, and then you have Dizzy Flores, who is in the movie Rico's love interest, which we don't have in the book, because as I said before, there's a little bit of a duality to Rico's sexuality, so you're not going to necessarily get Dizzy the same way. As a matter of fact, am I getting it confused? Is Dizzy Flores then? Is that in the last chapter? So she actually becomes the pilot? Well, what about Carmen, right? I don't know. Somebody go back and find out. Tell me in the comments, because I'm confused now. So anyway, in the movie, though, Diz fights Zim and almost kind of comes off on top. Well, where in the book, there's another private that gives Zim a run for the money that happened to have been trained by the person who trained Zim. But that shows the generation process. So the people becoming troopers one generation to the next, and the beat goes on. So hope you guys are following along. Saw the comment, I believe Savage commented about reading it. I recommend the audio is pretty good. The last couple of links, those are the ones that Tech sent me. The first installment was how I listened to it one particular time, but these other ones, the fan produced one's pretty darn good. So, all right, hope y'all are digging it, and we'll catch you in the next one.